You know there's a very quick way in which you can end applause and then there's a big slap at the end, right? So let's try that just a little bit. We can applaud like this, just a little bit. We should be working on that, just a little bit. Okay, now I will be talking about the next person who will come here on the stage. And I hope I can say the name correctly because I'm sure I'm going to make a mistake here. And I'm going to invite in front Thijs Feryn. Did I say correctly?
More or less.
More or less. How is it correctly?
Thijs.
Thijs.
Indeed.
Thijs Feryn. Okay, and you can already see Thijs there.
Yes,
you don't want the stage?
Slides.
You want the stage? You don't want the stage?
Yeah,
You want to stay there?
I'll walk around, have the stage.
Oh, you walk around. Great.
We'll see where we end up.
Well,
Let's get the logistics up and running first.
the only one thing I can tell you about this, is that he's really passionate about what he does. And as you can see, he's fixing his environment over here, which looks awesome. So,
Almost there.
we have a personal question for you. Who wants to ask a personal question?
Yeah, ask me anything.
Anything, that's good.
Anything reasonable.
That's good. Well, reasonable, that's...
I see a raised hand back.
Okay, can we get a microphone there, please? A microphone. For the personal question.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but there's no mic.
But nobody can hear you.
You can shout it out pretty loud.
Okay, say pretty
On what age did you start on IT or development?
So the question was, what age did I start IT development?
Yeah.
It's quite late, actually. I wasn't born a geek. I had to build up my geek credits, and I started out pretty late. I think I had my first computer when I was 16, which is quite late, right? Right? A lot of you started early, you know? And I started fiddling about with JavaScript. And then when I was 18, I learned a tiny bit of PHP, and then my mind was set up, I was about to study computer sciences. And then I actually started working in IT when I was 21, in 2004, and I'm still working for the same company. So I've been almost working 11 years for the same company now. So I hope that more or less answers your question.
Yeah.
But the real question isn't when did I start, but what did I do the last couple of months? And that's a question you can ask everyone. But you have these guys who say, I've been in IT since the 70s. Yeah, good for you. But what have you been done the last couple of months? Are you still writing macros in Excel? It's a good question. Thank you for asking it. But the real question is, what have you guys and girls been doing the last couple of months? That being said, I'd like to kick off my presentation, and I hope we have time enough because we have some time constraints and we're going overtime. And I know, like, every minute I talk too much, I'm taking away from your coffee break. But nonetheless, okay, let's kick it off. Ladies and gentlemen of beautiful Cluj, have you encountered a situation where you've developed some code, you put it in production, or you develop some code, it works brilliantly, you put it in production, and it goes horribly wrong? Like red flags all over the place. I see people nodding, and I think, oh, it sucks, right? Who has had that? Apparently there's people who did not have that. Okay, that is interesting. And then the person, the manager, or anyone else walks up and said, hey, what went wrong? And I'm pretty sure you said, if this clicker is working, here we go. Hey, it worked on my machine. Who had that? I had that. A lot of people had that. Well, this talk, I hope, can change this. So hi, good morning, my name is Thijs. I'm a Belgian guy. I'm happy to be here. I'm really fortunate to be speaking in front of you. I'm on Twitter. Have you heard of it? I'm Thijs Feryn on Twitter. Don't hesitate to interact with me. I would love to have a chat with you. I will also most likely be skipping Q&A here, but there's a coffee break, so you can ask me direct and personal questions in my face. I prefer that. Professionally, I'm a tech evangelist at a Belgian web hosting company. So I'm actually in the web hosting industry called Scandal. I'm pretty sure you have never heard of us. We're one of the bigger hosting companies in Belgium. That doesn't really make it relevant out here. I'm very community oriented. I run the PHP user group in Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. It's all pretty small, right? If you combine these three countries, I would think we're still smaller than Romania. But I'm involved with the PHP community. I organize conferences, I speak at conferences, and I think this is my 128th talk. That's what talks. I'm really happy to be here. So today is going to be all about Vagrant, right? Who's heard of Vagrant? Who's using Vagrant? Okay, good. For those who've heard of it but haven't used it, I hope I can inspire you to use it in the end. So Vagrant is all about development environments. I marked it in red, development environments. So the goal is to create, configure lightweight, reproducible, and portable development environments. And those three aspects really matter. And throughout the presentation, we'll see why this matters. Give you a tip of the iceberg, lightweight, so if it runs on your computer, it shouldn't have a big impact. Who has an SSD on this first laptop? SSD? No SSD? Things might be a tiny bit slower if you don't have SSD. But Vagrant is light enough to keep this manageable. It's reproducible, so if you do it, and you do it, it should have the same result. There won't be any, it works on my machine, yada yada. And it should be portable. You should be able to ship that development box to your team members, so that everyone works on the same system. It's actually a wrapper around VirtualBox, so for the people who use Vagrant, who uses VirtualBox as the virtualization layer below? Anyone using VMware below? Yeah, cool. Hyper-V? Hyper-V, I still have people using Hyper-V. So it's actually a wrapper around a lot of the common virtualization providers that you can have on your local system. So by show of hands, doing lots of show of hands, right? Lots of interaction. Who here develops on his local machine? Who uses the local machine to develop? Yeah. Those who, yeah, a lot of people. Who use WAMP or MAMP to do that? Sometimes I try to avoid it. And I already asked the question who uses Vagrant. So the question is why would we use a technology like Vagrant? Why am I trying to convince you to do so? Well, the idea is pretty simple. You'll have a separated and isolated environment per project. So if project X requires Node.js and project Y requires Ruby and project Z requires Python, you can have them nicely configured just the way you want it. And that is the main goal, as you can see on the screen, the second bullet point. Dev should be tested, should be staged, should be prod. So every piece of configuration, from the runtime to the codes to the server infrastructure, should be either exactly the same or similar enough so that your code will work. So if you develop, well, then you 100% know for sure that that code will work in production in the end. And you'll have QA processes in between to make sure that if builds fail, you'll look at it. It should be easy to define and transport. You'll see that throughout the presentation. It should be easy to tear down as well. Like if you're not working on a project, why consume VM resources? Like easy to do so. And it should be provisional and infrastructure as code way. And that is so I have two parts. I have a part about where I introduce Vagrant, and then we'll throw Ansible in the mix. You'll see that infrastructure as code, so defining your VMs, your network, your entire infrastructure as pieces of code. That is it, word programming. So that would be very interesting. It should be versionable, so your project evolves, so your infrastructure evolves as well. You can go a step back, step further. Basically, you're just adding all these configurations to your Git or SVN or Pure or Bazaar or whatever you're using. And the main thing, it's all about collaboration. It's all about the people. It's about sharing your configuration across the team. For those of you who are saying, what is this? What are you talking about? This is a diagram that will illustrate. So it all starts from the command line. It's command line 2. And Vagrant up is one of those commands you use. You type Vagrant up, you press the return button, and Vagrant will start doing its thing. And what is its thing? Well, it will start looking at the Vagrant file. So the middle file at the bottom, the Vagrant file contains all the definitions and refers to a base box, a Vagrant box. And that box is just a machine image, sort of snapshot of a VM. And that snapshot will be cloned and used for your VM. And finally, your provisioning scripts, in this case, in my case, Ansible script that will be run against those VMs once they're set up to make sure they look exactly what you expect. And it could be a single VM. Starting right, laser point all the way to there. Yeah. So you can have one VM or actually multiple VMs on your local machine. That is a great way of doing things. Now that Vagrant file, constantly you mentioned Vagrant file. How do you make it? How do you get it? Well, you type Vagrant in it, and you mention the name of the base box you want to use, the base box on your system, and then it will magically work. Alright. What does the Vagrant file do? It does a bunch of things, selecting the base box, referring to the virtualization provider, VM parameters, networking, SSH connections, mounting your local disk, which is very, very convenient. Let's say you work on your local computer, in your IDE environment, you press save, well, it will be automatically synced to Vagrant. So no deployment process will be done. And you can provision the machine. And this is exactly what a typical Vagrant file would look like. It contains a bunch of things, and I will go over them piece by piece. But the first thing you need to do, and that's the second line of the Vagrant file, is referring to that base box. And boxes, where do you get them? Well, there's this website called vagrantcloud.com. And vagrantcloud.com is actually a layer around HashiCorp Atlas. HashiCorp is the commercial company around this open source project. HashiCorp also Michio Hashimoto, that's the guy who invented it, the American guy who invented it. And he created a platform where you can find base boxes, be it CentOS, be it Ubuntu, be it Debian, be it whatever you want it to be. It's out there, it's official, and you can search for these boxes and refer to them in your data. If you want to make them yourselves, Packer is also a product from that company, allows you to create whatever VM you want, either be it through Vagrant or through AWS, or you start from input like a bare ISO and you end up with a machine image. If you want to do it yourself, this is an easy way. If you want to do it yourself manually, there is a description out there, and mind you, these slides will be online after the presentation, so these links will be available to you, and you will be able to go to that website and read these reference pages. And if you have created your own base box and you want to share it, either in a private way with your team or with the entire community, you can use Atlas, and Atlas is the platform that they use. Managing boxes is easy. You can just do Vagrant box add, refer to, let's say, HashiCorp Precise 64. What this will do, if it sees this namespace kind of box reference, it will automatically connect to Atlas. Look at the user HashiCorp, because that's a user registered on the Atlas framework. It will look for the precise 64 bits, so that's in the Ubuntu box. Look at it, download it, set it on your machine, and you're good to go. Simple commands, automatically connects. If you self-host it, if you say we don't want this on Atlas, we want it on our own infrastructure, you can just pass it a URL, and it will do the very same thing. Once you have your boxes on your system, you can list them, you can remove them as you see the Vagrant box remove, or you can repackage it. It means having this stored image on your computer. If you want to distribute it to someone else, you just like Vagrant box repackage. Reference it by name, and it will be a box file in your current folder. You can ship it wherever you want it to be. The cool thing about using Atlas is that it's versioned. So if there's updates available, if the creator of it says, here's an update, you can track that update. If you type Vagrant box update, it will check whether or not there's an update. And if there's an update, you type Vagrant box update, and you'll get a new version of it. So it's versionable in all ways. Like you version your Vagrant file, the creators of base boxes version base boxes. So everything is synced. And if you have a running machine, which we'll see later on, if you have a running machine and you want to turn that into a new base box, let's say you have an existing base box, you can change some configurations, install some software, well, then you do Vagrant package, and it will create a new base box, which you then can distribute up to the new. Now, I don't want to harass you with all, this is interesting, but I don't want to harass you in your daily operations, because you can just reference it in your Vagrant file. This is the minimal configuration for a Vagrant file. You either refer to the Atlas part or a self-hosted box, and the person who will have this file will type Vagrant up, and will be done, will be ready. Okay, so now that we have this, so we can set up a base box referred within our Vagrant file, now we should get working. So let's get up and running. Your main command, the command you'll learn to love, is Vagrant up. If you type Vagrant up, you're there, right? I see people nodding enthusiastically. Vagrant up for the win, right? If you want to make sure that this machine is in a paused state, you want to pause it, just type Vagrant suspend. If you want to shut the machine down, of course, you'll have Vagrant halt. If you want to reload it, see where this is going, right? Vagrant destroy is also a very interesting one because a machine consumes resources, be it disk resources. We want it to be clear, just type Vagrant destroy in the current folder. So the folder where your Vagrant file is located, it will destroy the box in VirtualBox or wherever you have it. And if you want to know in which state it is, just type Vagrant status. And these are a bunch of simple commands you will use to bootstrap machines, to tear them down, to pause them, to get the status. But what use do we have of a machine when we can't connect to it? Typing Vagrant SSH is the main thing you'll do. These are all Linux boxes. I have Vagrant SSH. In the current folder, your Vagrant file is of a running machine, and you'll be in. No passwords asked, no keys to be configured. Everything is done for you. So as I mentioned, it is a passwordless login. It uses SSH keys generated by Vagrant itself, so you don't really need to put in your own keys. And there's a private key in your .vagrant folder. So whenever you have a running Vagrant project, a hidden folder, .vagrant, containing all bits and pieces you need. And it's for the Vagrant user, so when you do Vagrant SSH, you're in with the Vagrant user, and it's configured with passwordless sudo. So you do sudo su, boom, you're in, you're root, in the machine. Did you type passwords? No. Did you have to configure keys? No. That's because if you type Vagrant SSH config, it will show you the detailed Vagrant config. It does port forwarding to the local host on 2202 in this case. If you have multiple machines, these will be separate ports. There is an identity file there, hidden on your computer. The public key is on the server. So there's so many configurations done for you so that you don't have to. Networking is also important because we don't just care about accessing it over SSH. If you have a web service, you want to have it running on HTTP, HTTPS, so you need networking settings. And Vagrant can do this. This is very easy. As you can see on the slides, you have 3 ways of configuring networking, and you can combine those as well. Port forwarding, let's say you want this very machine on port 80 to run in your computer on port 8080. Well, you can do that. Go to your browser, localhost 8080, boom, your web application is out there. If you prefer, and that's the way I prefer it, to have private IP space assigned to it, and you can assign an IP, in this case 192.168.3310. That will be the IP address you can navigate to in your browser. Or you can even share the box within your local network and just use public networking and it'll bridge it to your network adapter assigned over DHCP and your IP address, and you're good to go. So this is a very convenient way of doing this. In the beginning of the presentation, I also mentioned sync folders. Sync folders is extremely powerful. So by default, without configuring anything, when you do Vagrant up and when you Vagrant SSH, and you go to cd/vagrant, this will contain your current folder. So all your files in the current folder are already automatically mounted in the system. Very convenient. If you want to add an extra mount, just do as I noted. VM sync folder, give it the source, give it the destination, good to go. Another thing we can do, keeping an healthy pace because we're short on time, is to define the amount of CPU, the amount of memory. So these are also interesting things. It's safe to say that all of this is very important, right? The Vagrant file is an essential part of your product. Put it in your Git repo, share it with your team members. The only thing they need to do is type Vagrant up, move it, the same machine that you defined, they'll be using it. We're streamlining your development, which is the title of my talk. And that's the way to go, but who the hell cares about having an empty box? Because up until now, I have not explained how to install software, how to make sure your web server is installed. I haven't. And this is where we get to the provisioning part. Now, mind you, I will definitely skip the Q&A, so we'll run definitely 5 minutes over. But that's okay, because right after you can talk to me if you have any in-depth questions in the hallway. Now, provisioning, there's tons of provisioning mechanisms. This talk, clearly, is about Ansible. So Ansible is my tool of choice. But there's probably some Puppet people in here, some Chef people, right? Puppet, Chef. Who uses Puppet? Chef people. Anyone using SaltStack? CF Engine, Shell, just a simple shell script. Yeah, there we go. So Ansible, I like it because it is so simple. It is a configuration management system, so what it does is it installs software in an automated way, configures files, everything you can do as a system administrator on your command line, this can be automated. It is simple and lightweight, because Puppet and Chef tend to take some time, take resources. This doesn't. Because it's all, and you can see lower in the slides, it pushes commands over SSH, so there's no agent that you have to install. It's just remote SSH. You send command over SSH. And you don't need to know how to program the infrastructure code. It's YAML, so it's mainly configuration over code. So if you can write a YAML file, you can definitely write these playbooks. And it's standalone, and it's a very rich ecosystem with lots of modules and lots of people writing modules for you, so you don't have to. Provisioning, also very simple, as you can see there on the slides, is you just mention the location of the playbook, that gets picked up, it's executed, and will populate the box. And this is what a very simple playbook could look like. Look at it, it's plain and simple. It starts out with which host should match. All the VMs I have in my context will match this, and I will define some variables. There's a document root, which is in this case Vagrant www, it gets mounted, it gets linked, and I have a server name called mysite.dev. I do sudo automatically because I need root to execute these. And then I'm going to do some interesting things. As you can see on the screens, I'm going to use the apt command, so install software automatically, and I'm going to install Nginx. After installing Nginx, I will make sure there's a virtual host file. That virtual host file is located in mysite.conf.j2. Why J2? Because we use Jinja, and that is something very specifically Vagrant. It's a templating system. And these two variables I defined in the beginning will be parsed in there. Very, very convenient. And afterwards, I will automatically restart Nginx, and boom, we have our web server all set up for us, mounted to the right directory, ready to go. These are the important parts. Just look at it. These slides will be published definitely this afternoon, so you can definitely have them. When is this executed? On your first Vagrant hub, or if you manually type Vagrant provision, it will run through it. It will run that cycle and set up your entire VM or multiple VMs. But there's a better way of doing this. You can organize it in playbooks. And let's go over it. I'm going to go to this side of the room, because I need to point. This is your main playbook. So this is where all of it gets bootstrapped. You can include from your playbook other files that can contain interesting logic, so you can separate the concerns indefinitely. If you have variables, you can group them by certain groups. Let's say you have a pool of multiple web servers, a pool of database servers. You have your separate variables in there. You might have variables that are very specific to individual machines. You can define them in the YAML file. And these roles, which are packaged pieces of logic, contain all the things you need to install Nginx, to install MySQL. And the things you need to extend, you just mention them here or there, you type Vagrant provision, boom, everything is set up. And these could be separate examples. Our grouped web servers, so all the web servers, automatically install Nginx with all its components. If you have variables, they'll be in the group vars or in the host vars. If you have tasks separately, pre, post, or just basic tasks, just execute it. And you can split them up in different bits and pieces. This is what happens to all hosts, so this gets run for every single machine. This is only for the web server, only for the database server. And this is something that will run very specifically for a primary web server. So in that way, you can tune your machines accordingly. There is an inventory file that refers to this. It's at that location. When you cat it, you'll see it has a host and a port, and it will automatically know how to provision your machine. You can write custom inventory files to make sure that what you write for your Vagrant box can also be used to automatically set up your infrastructure for staging, production, and that is the essence, right? Making sure that development, test, staging, acceptance, production are all exactly the same. So you'll recycle it and use standalone Ansible. These playbooks that you've defined for your local development, ship them to the people responsible for production systems. Give them an inventory file that contains the IPs they need, and they're good to go. Now, that is the closing because I know I should stop. There's a nice person that says stop. I have one more thing to convey to you before I end this presentation. You can define multiple VMs in your Vagrant file and give them names. And you can group them. Let's say web servers have web server 1, web server 2, database 1, database 2. Group them. And replicate your production strategy. If you have 4 machines in production, why not have 4 machines in development? You'll have a separate inventory. All these things will run. All these playbooks will run on the different machines. And you can control them by referring to the name. Vagrant up, the first machine. Vagrant SSH, database server. And in that way, you'll have your farm, you'll have everything set up. You won't make those silly mistakes anymore. You won't be able, or you won't have to say it worked on my machine. Everything will be stable. With that being said, I'd like to say Vagrant for the win, Vagrant up for the win. Enjoy the coffee break, thank you. I have more to talk at the Big Data Track about Elasticsearch. Come check me out. It was
Vagrant and Ansible.
Vagrant Ansible, all wrapped up into what?
Yeah.
25, 30 minutes?
35 minutes. Thank you very much for this. Make sure you also ask questions in the networking part. Okay, I'm going to make this very, very, very fast because we're behind schedule. As you know, we're really sorry about that. We started a bit late and we couldn't catch up the time. So we're going to cut back a little bit on the networking and the coffee part. I know it's disappointing, but we came here to listen to the speeches. So what we are trying to do right now is the following. We're going to take a break of exactly 21 minutes. In the meantime, all this room will be redone into 3 separate rooms. And we will start at 12 to 15 minutes with the next tracks. Now there are 4 tracks, I'm sure you already know them. The future web, which is in Vivaldi room, mobile, which is in Verdi room, cloud computing, and here there's a change in the agenda. You're supposed to go in Bernini in cloud computing, and big data will go in Toscanini. Okay, so in 20 minutes, enjoy the coffee, thank you very much, enjoy the speeches later on.